There's a difference between habit and addiction.
Um, the difference between a habit and addiction is a habit is something that you can fix and you can control. You can control a habit. An addiction is a brain. What's the word I'm looking for? It's more mental. It's more of the brain. So when you have endorphins that help that trigger those addictions, that's where it comes from because addictions help with those chemicals in your brain. If that makes sense. So it's more of a habit is something you can fix. It's fixable. You can change it, but an addiction is more than just a habit. If that makes sense.
So basically, addiction is basically with addiction you can't really control it. The addiction controls you.
Yes. So,
Yeah, it does.
and sometimes they're so functional, their wives don't even know what's going on. Because some people are just that functional.
Yeah, so like, is there a difference between someone that's functional and someone not functional? Like, why can someone that can function?
There's no difference between a functional and non functional. The only thing when a functional is they have the conscious to think about their family but don't seek the help. That's the only difference between a functional and a non functional.
Oh,
A functional addict can drink all day, all night, but still have their bills paid. Still make sure their family eats. Still make sure that their wives are good and the house is paid for. And then the non-functional ones, they use whatever little money they have to get what they need without thinking about their families. That's the only difference in a functional and non-functional. Like for example, his family. Uncle Randy was functional.
yeah, he was.
He was functional.
He was.
He was functional. He made sure Shazan ate. He made sure Khadijah ate. He made sure everybody in his family was good before he did his habit. Now you look at Harvey. Harvey's a non-functional. He don't know when to stop once he gets it. He doesn't know how to make the difference between do I need to get this bottle or do I need to pay this phone bill. He don't know the difference of I have $20 in gas. He was going to go to the liquor store to get the $20 bottle instead of putting gas in his car. Those are the differences between the functional and non-functional. They just know the difference of I need to take care of my life before I do my habit.
So basically, the main difference is a conscious.
It's a conscious.
Being aware that people are dependent on you.
Yeah.
Okay. I
Why did you use the drug?
I had shoulder surgery, and it went from oxycodones, and I'd be going through 210 oxycodones in a 10-day period, and heroin was much easier to get, so because you didn't want to go through that withdrawal. So.
But I went to a college that was 1,000 miles away, and the university had more people than lived in my town. So I was really overwhelmed. I got homesick, and the school, most of my classmates were from big cities. So I kind of felt like a country hick. But the disease of addiction is a genetic disease, and I have a history of that in my family. But the one thing that helped me gain my popularity, like my father, I could drink a lot. So when I would go out with the kids to the bar, I'd take a drink. I went from Steve Urkel to Barry White. I got cool. So I felt my self-esteem. I felt accepted. I got confidence. But what I did not know, I had opened up Pandora's box and let something out that was going to take me down a 20-year road of darkness.
So to be a little more personal, has substance abuse or drug abuse affected you?
Yeah, actually. When I was younger, around the age of like 3 or 4, that's when my dad started drinking, and he used to beat up my mom and things of that nature.
And how do you think that affected your family or yourself?
It caused them to separate, which, I don't know, it's kind of like a domino effect. Our relationship kind of ended.
Yeah. Substance or drug abuse affected you, and how?
Yes, and it has affected me because My dad, he's an alcoholic someone, and when he drinks, it makes him angry sometimes, and it makes tension in the house.
Okay.
How did your addiction affect you and your family?
Tore us apart, almost killed me. Took 4 years of my life I'll never get back. And one thing with opiates is that it makes you numb from emotionally and physically. So you miss things, you miss the important things, birthdays and Christmases and holidays, and you just don't remember them because you're always in this fog.
So what was that 20-year period of darkness like?
Well, Jasmine, many people who practice a religion, one of the reasons they practice it is because they don't want to go to hell.
Mm-hmm.
As an addict, we've been to hell and don't want to go back. And that's the closest thing I can describe addiction as a walk through hell. I lied, I cheated, I stole. I was like the Grinch. If you came within 10 feet of me, I got you. Women would come home for family reunions. They sleep on their pocketbook because I'd go up and get that money to get my thing. I lived to use and I used to live. And that path took me down the road that institutions, jails, and at the end, almost death. Because I tried to kill myself, but fortunately, a power greater than myself decided it wasn't my time to go.
What led to your recovery?
Well, as they say in the rooms of Narcotics Anonymous, I finally got sick and tired of being sick and tired. I got tired of hurting my family, my mother in particular. I got tired of losing jobs. Got tired of having trouble with the justice system. And then, like I said, I tried to, take my own life. So I knew at that point a change had to come. And after spending that night in jail, because see, jail smells like stale bologna and stank feet. And so when I got out, the air smelled different. And I had made a whole lot of promises with God. Like, God, you get me out of this. I will never take another drink again. And God took his, kept his part of the bargain. I never kept mine. But one thing was different this time, Jasmine, is that I didn't ask God something. I told God something. I said, you're not going to have any trouble out of me. And 22 years later, here I sit. I went through treatment at Piedmont Community Services, completed all the substance abuse programs, stayed in the aftercare program for more than a year, and was very, very active in the 12-step programs, both Alcoholics Anonymous and Narcotics Anonymous. I got a sponsor. I worked the steps. An amazing thing happened.
What was your final straw to finally seek help?
To a point I was going to lose my daughters. So it was either, lose them forever or, get my stuff together.
I got a job in Roanoke working with the Department of Rehabilitative Services. That's an agency that helps people who have disabilities get back into the workforce. My phone rang, and that was a young lady that was also active in the Fellowship of Narcotics Anonymous. Mm-hmm. She was also the substance abuse supervisor for Piedmont Community Services. And she said she had noticed my recovery and wanted to offer me a job back here in Martinsville. And I felt, well, this is a good opportunity for me to help repay some of the things that I did while in my active addiction in Martinsville. So I came back to Piedmont Community Services, and I've been carrying the message of recovery for the last 22 years.
Okay.
How is your life different now that you are sober?
More productive. I not always wondering when you're going to have your next fix or anything like that, because you don't want to go through that withdrawal. And that's the worst feeling, is going through that withdrawal, where that withdrawal would last anywhere from 72 up to 72 hours, where my withdrawal when I went to rehab lasted 5 days. So you're more focused. You're not just focused on not being high off of any opiates or heroin or whatever it is. So if you're getting low or whatever it is, you had to figure out how you're going to get your next fix, because you did not want to go through that withdrawal.
keep your head up. Along those lines.
All right. Do you have any words of wisdom?
Stay positive. No matter your situations, you'll be alright.
Thank you.